Hey guys, so I'm here today to film a review for you. I picked up the MAC ProLongwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation about probably a week, no, it was 2 weeks ago. I picked this up 2 weeks ago and I have been wearing it probably nonstop since I purchased it. So the ProLongwear foundation comes in a, well, the ProLongwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation, not to be confused with the original ProLongwear foundation, which comes in a glass bottle with a pump, I might add, I believe. Comes in a squeeze tube, which is realistically not the most exciting packaging there is. Has a squeeze top, you know, nothing that is that amazing. And the number one gripe I have with this foundation is that this foundation comes with 25 milliliters or 0.84 fluid ounces. Literally every single foundation I own has 1 fluid ounce of foundation because that is the way that it works. They all come with 30 milliliters or 1 fluid ounce. This is my Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation so that you can see the size comparison between the two. The Laura Mercier foundation has, actually 35 milliliters or 1.18 fluid ounces. This is my NARS Tinted Moisturizer, which has 1.9 ounces or 50 milliliters. And this is my MAC Face and Body, which has 120 milliliters or 4 fluid ounces. Now my issue here is that if this was a cheaper foundation, I would have absolutely no problem with the fact that it has less product in it, because that makes sense. This is $38.50 in Canada. I picked mine up at the Bay because I had a gift card, but the thing is, the original ProLongwear foundation, which has 5 more milliliters of product in it, is $38.50 in Canada. So I understand it's a different formula, but I don't believe that it costs you more money to make this formula. I believe that you just kind of stuck with your standard pricing and priced it that. The MAC Face and Body is $42 for over 4 times the product. For an extra $4. Does that seem reasonable to you? Because it doesn't seem reasonable to me. But the problem here is that I actually love this foundation. Fucking MAC, ruining my life. Even if it had less product than those foundations, if it had 1 fluid ounce, I would be happy, because I would say 90% of foundations have 1 fluid ounce. That's like the standard foundation size is 1 fluid ounce, and I'm okay with that. But this one is the same price as the 1 fluid ounce ones, not much cheaper than the 4 fluid ounce ones, and it's the same price. So I'm just getting that out of the way off the top. Shady business. So I picked mine up in the shade NW20. Now, I have never owned a MAC foundation before other than the MAC Face and Body, which comes in shades that are like N1 and C1. So I'm N1, which is the lightest neutral shade. And I find that normally I cannot find a match with MAC foundations. I have tried, I believe it's Studio Fix before, which is too thick for me anyways, but I was color matched to an NW15 because NW20 is too yellow toned and too dark for me, but NW15 is generally too light for me, which is hard to believe right now because I look real white in this lighting. I think it works really well for me. It blends in really well, I think is what it is, and then it kind of just works. So right now I'm gonna input a video clip of me demoing the foundation. That's what I'm wearing right now, so right now. Okay, so I've already done partially my eyes, and I have primed my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I have personally really been liking wearing this foundation with the Maybelline Master Prime. This is the Blur and Illuminate Primer. I like this because it's very illuminating, but because I want to show you guys how the natural finish of the foundation is, I'm not going to use this primer today, but I do like this primer with this product, but whatever. So this is it. I am going to be using the Beauty Blender to apply it today because this is my preferred method of applying it. Yes, it's dirty. 'Tis life. So I zoomed you in a little bit so you can kind of see better. So let's put this on my face. I'm just gonna squeeze out about that much and between my fingers, and then I just put it on my face like that. Then I'm just gonna start dabbing it in. As you can see, with one layer, it looks really nice. Focus camera. It looks really natural on the skin. You can still see my freckles, but my redness is covered up pretty well. I have a weird pimple here. Yeah, so I just like to add a little bit more coverage, because why not? So I'm just gonna squeeze about this much more onto my finger, put it, this is just where I always put it, especially around my chin. And that is it. I personally think it looks nice. Covered pretty much all of my redness, all of my discoloration. Gives me a nice, like, natural sheen to the skin without like for a full coverage foundation, it does not look cakey or anything. So yeah, that's what it looks like. So as you can see, the foundation is a liquid consistency. It's not too runny, it's not too thick. It's much more liquidy than the Laura Mercier Silk Cream, which this actually reminds me a lot of the Laura Mercier Silk Cream with the, regards to the coverage. And what I like is because it's full coverage, I personally enjoy putting it on with my beauty blender to really like kind of dewy it out a little, if that makes sense, and shear it out a little bit so it doesn't look too cakey. But I find even if I apply this with my F80 Sigma brush, it doesn't look cakey when I put this on. The Laura Mercier sometimes can look a little cakey if I don't like blend it out, but because I think the consistency is a little thinner than the Laura Mercier, it's a lot easier to blend this foundation out and into your skin. And I think that, now granted, I did set it with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in Light Plus. I do think that it gives my skin a nice natural finish. I don't think it looks cakey at all. Like, it looks pretty legit. Pretty legit, I think. Too legit to quit? Who knows? So, yeah, I really like the coverage. I really like the application. Now, I put this on about 10 minutes ago and it still hasn't set. I find that if you apply it with a beauty blender, it sets quicker than if you apply it with the F80, because I think you're packing on more product and the beauty blender kind of shears it out. It does take about an hour, I think, to fully set on your face, and I have set it with a powder, so it is a little bit weird. Like, watch this. This is how you know if your foundation it transfers or not. I don't know if you can see, but there's foundation all over that. Yeah, there is. I'm just gonna wipe that on my pants. So yeah, I find that I don't know what it is about this foundation, probably because it's more of a nourishing foundation, that it kind of sets a little bit, takes a little bit longer to set, but I personally don't mind. I don't touch my face that much, so to me it's not that big of a deal. Now, the #1 claim of this foundation is that it's waterproof. And I will say I have not tested the waterproofness, but I did wear this to my cousin's wedding last week where I was dancing all through the night, and it did hold up very well. I do find that when I take my makeup off at night, usually when I use my cleansing oil for my face, it just kind of gets off a little bit, but not too much. But I find that this foundation honestly lasts a very long time. You get some separation around the nose and stuff around like 8 to 10 hours, but for me that's really good, and I do think that this foundation does hold up to the Longwear claims. So yeah, I honestly love this foundation, and unfortunately I would probably purchase it again, which is annoying because I hate that I'm getting less product for what I'm paying for, but it is a good foundation. Now, I don't know how waterproof it is. Lots of girls did tests and put their face under the shower or whatever, and it seemed to last. But my thing is, when it's raining or when it's water, what you do is you wipe the water off, and that's what takes the makeup off. If it's just, it's not waterproof in that you could just dump and dive into the pool and, you know, wipe your face and it would stay there. No, because if you touch it, it's gonna come off if you're wet. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I see my husband, lol. So yeah. I don't know know about the waterproof claim. Personally, I don't care if a foundation is waterproof. I don't need it to be waterproof. I just need it to not come off during the day. So yeah, it says it's waterproof, it says it's long wearing, wears 24 hours. Yeah, I haven't tested it for 24 hours because who's got time for that? Instant long-term hydration. I do find that it's not a drying foundation. It doesn't, I have dry skin, doesn't make my skin feel dry. I don't think it really clings to dry patches. It's oil-free. It doesn't oxidize on me, and the only other claim is that it's transfer resistant, and once it sets, it is transfer resistant, but you do have to take into account that sometimes it takes a little bit of time for it to set, so just take that into consideration. But honestly, I love this foundation. I think it provides beautiful coverage. It reminds me of my Laura Mercier Silk Cream, like I said, which it is a fraction of the price of. Now, the sizing is very different, but I mean, this is $65, I believe, in Canada, and this is $38, so it's a pretty big difference, and I find this is a lot easier to work with. The Laura Mercier I have to apply with my fingers because it's too thick to apply with a brush or with a beauty blender, and then if you apply it with your fingers, it can get too cakey, and then I use a beauty blender to like dab it off, and like it's just weird. So yeah, I've been loving wearing this. Now, it does provide a nice natural satin finish, but I personally like to use the Maybelline Master Prime Primer, which is a blur and illuminating primer because I love to illuminate. So I like to do that, which kind of just adds more glow to it, but that's just how I live my life. I don't know. I think it looks really nice on the skin. I'm kind of into it. I forgot to blend out my contour today, guys. Don't judge. So yeah, that is my review on the foundation. I honestly love it. It is a little chintzy in the size area, but it's a great foundation. I honestly have never really liked any MAC foundations except for Face and Body before, and Face and Body I can only wear in the summer because it's a very like lightweight, natural foundation, and sometimes a girl just wants some coverage, and I was loving my Laura Mercier foundation for the past few weeks because it was so full coverage, but now I've just completely converted to the MAC ProLongwear. It's fantastic. I love it. If you have dry skin or you're looking for something that's super long wearing and nourishing, you need to try that foundation. It's fantastic. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.